What's up YouTube? This is Groudon Empire, and today I have a different video for you guys. I want to begin by telling you guys that this weekend I'm going to be very busy, so I won't be able to upload the usual battle spot single rating battle laddering that I have tried to do for all this time. You know, the last week I wasn't able to do that for a different reason. You know, I was on tilt and whatnot. But this weekend at least, I won't be able to record because I'm only really busy over the weekend. So what I thought is that instead, I wanted to have some content for you guys that is at least, related. So I was like, hey, recently my team building guide has been doing better and better in terms of views. So I was like, why don't I just make a live team building video? Because it still takes long, but I think I should be able to make it in short parts, like 3 or 4 parts, whatever amount of parts, and just make an interesting team. How good it will be, I don't know, but the point is to just do a live team building video so you guys can just see how another example of me building a team. Now, for you guys that don't know already, I have a team building guide, so the link to that will be in the description. But if you haven't checked it already, definitely check that out. That is actually a guide. This video is not going to be exactly a guide, whereas the other video is an actual guide. So it actually guides you through the process and whatnot. So I will be doing this team building video as if you already watched that video and you understand the URLs that I'm using, and you understand why I'm using them and whatnot. Alright, so if you have any questions regarding any of that stuff, definitely refer to that video, and then most likely those questions should be out of the way. But with all of that out of the way, I'm just gonna get started with whatever I'm planning on doing for today's video. Well, right now's video. What I intend on doing for this video is make a Charmeleon team for Battle Spot Single. As you guys can see, I'm on play.pokemonshowdown.com, and what I'm going to do is I just told you guys I'm going to make a Charmeleon team because I freaking love Charmeleon. BSS stands for Battle Spot Single, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. So the first thing I do is I look at what the Pokemon can do. Alright, so I do have my 4 links here. I have my type coverage calculator, I have the global link leaderboard stuff. Gotta make sure, yeah, it's on single, it's on season 9, so that's good. And I have my damage calc, so that's all good. So I think that's all set. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to pick Charmeleon so we can see what's good about it. So as you guys can see, in terms of items, we'll pick item last. Now, whenever you pick a Pokemon, in my opinion, you want to make sure you pick its moveset first. And you want to make sure to know what you want to do with the Pokemon. Because if you make a team and then you decide what you're going to do with them, then you probably won't end up picking optimal sets. You might end up realizing, oh, it's better to have another Pokemon instead of the 6 Pokemon you already picked. So it's always you always want to actually have a solid base for the set for what you want to do with the Pokemon before you actually put them on the team. And after you put them on the team, you want them to actually cover something before you have any empty slots. So we're gonna ignore item for now. We look at this thing's abilities, and I see Solar Power and Blaze. This thing is so frail. Look at its stats. It's so frail, it's not going to survive anything. And if it does, well, I mean, Blaze is just, it's if you look at Solar Power, you get a 1.5 boost to special attack. The special attack stat. Not just fire attacks, the special attack stat. It's like +1 special attack, alright? This base 80 goes to whatever, whatever it turns into. And so if you're gonna run something like a Charmeleon, which I'm going to be doing for this video, you want to run Solar Power. And let me tell you guys, it's much better to run a Chandelure because it's just better because it has the same special attack stat as a Solar Power boosted Charmeleon, and it's just as fast and has special better stats. But I love Charmeleon, and I'm going to Charmeleon for this video, so let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. So what I'm going to do here is now I'm going to run solar power, so that means I need sun support, right? And before I look at teammates, what I know right now is I definitely would like to do something with its item, whether I'm making it Toy Scarf or I'm making it a Trick Room Sun Sweeper, which is completely stupid, but I mean, it's if you want to do something creative, you can do something. I'm personally just going to run Toy Scarf because it's you know, at the end of the day, if you ever need to do something, you can just nuke something with an overheat. Well, not really nuke, but if it's in the sun, you can nuke something with an overheat. If not, you know, you still have an overheat to shoot off, so it's nice. And base 80 speed is actually pretty darn sweet, especially if you're max speed. You can actually outspeed the likes of Landorus. Landorus has 143 or 100. Let's see what Landorus T has as a speed stat, because Scarf Lando is like the premier Scarfer, right? And they typically are adamant and they're 143. So when we're timid, we beat Scarf Adamant Landorus, alright? Landorus Therian. And we also beat Pokemon like Adamant Mamoswine. And I think we also do, hold on, I just want to check. How about Garchomp? Do we beat Garchomp? Adamant Garchomp? I don't think, no, okay, we don't beat Adamant Garchomp. I'm getting out of my head right now. We don't, because it's 150, 155 or 156 or something. Let's check here. Yeah, it's 154, so you're not going to beat that. But you're going to beat Scarf Landorus, which I think is absolutely fantastic if you're going to run a Scarfer. Even though you need the sun if you want to OHKO it with Hidden Power Ice. But it's nice to be faster. That's the main point. So you obviously want maximum special attack because you're not doing anything else with this Pokemon. Solar Power does 1/8 HP damage per turn. So I want to calculate that really fast. And the way I want to do that is, we see 133 HP here, right? Take half of that. That would be 1/2. And there is no, like, the half of that would be half of 132, which would be 16, which would be 50 plus 16, which would be 66. So 66 is half, and what's half of half? Half of half would be 1/4, all right? And that would be 33, and what's half of 33? That's actually half of 32, and that would be 16. So with this, you have 16 recoil per turn, and if it's this, now you have more recoil per turn. So it's better to, and also you take more stealth rock damage and everything, so it's better to have this HP, because if you have 134, you're going to take 17 instead, which is not a good time. So we're going to do it like this, alright? We're going to have 133, and we're just going to put this, it honestly doesn't matter where we put it. You can put it like literally anywhere. We're going to make it a 0 just in case you run into swagger Pokemon. And yeah, that 4 doesn't matter where it is. Alright, so now we want overheat. Alright, we want overheat. I'm not going to run the calcs for you because I think that's going to kill time. You can run calcs for yourself. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you guys what a Charmeleon does, because I need to set this up anyway. Charmeleon 252, timid nature, solar power, and let's look at everything in the sun, because this Pokemon will have to be in the sun. Let's give it overheat, let's give it a dragon pulse, let's give it hidden power grass, and last but not least, let's give it Fire Blast. Why not? Okay, so actually no, I want to give it hidden power ice, because you beat Scarf Lando, right? Hidden power ice. Okay, so as you can see in the sun, Fire Blast OHKO's Gengar. Fire Blast OHKO's Gengar, ladies and gentlefish. If you can outspeed a Gengar, like, you know, like, you get what I'm saying? If you can, first of all, you outspeed when you're timid, okay, with the toy Scarf, and then in the sun, you destroy a Gengar. I think without the sun, look, without the sun, you're doing less than half the damage. You literally, because of the sun boosted fire attack plus the special attack buff of solar power, you have like a 2.25 times multiplier, something like that. So it really makes the attack powerful, like fire type attacks. And you know, I think Flamethrower can even OHKO the Mega Gengar. Yeah, it can. So it's really good. Let's just look at what it does to Garchomp. Garchomp is the 4 times effective Pokemon you want to use as your benchmark, because Landorus, offensive Landorus, is actually less bulky than a normal offensive Garchomp. And Hidden Power Ice OHKOs this, well, 62.5% of the time. But, you know, if you have like Stealth Rock or some prior damage, and even then, 60.2% of the time is a pretty darn sweet time, right? It does more than Dragon Pulse. And I can show you what it does to offensive Landorus. It does, you know, it guarantee 1 OHKO. So you definitely want Hidden Power Ice. So anyways, forget about this. Let's... Actually, no. Okay, so we want Hidden Power Ice just based on the fact that it can outspeed, and in the sun it can wreck the Landorus. And the last 2 moves, I'm not going to pick any two. Right now, I'm going to pick Fire Blast because we want to have maximum firepower. No pun intended. And the last move, I'm not going to pick right now. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this place, and we're going to see the Pokemon that are commonly used. And what we're going to do first is we're going to see that Garchomp is commonly used. So let's click on Garchomp. We already know that the sun deals, with the sun we can outspeed and KO this thing. Of course, now we have issues because if you want to switch out into something, and that's the problem with the Sun Sweeper, that needs to be scarfed. But, you know, what can you do? There's only so much that can and can't be done. So it's too bad. It's too bad if it switches out. That's the problem you're going to run into when you're running Scarf Charmeleon. But you know what? Let's just run with it. Kangaskhan is a common partner. We're going to need something to deal with that, because we literally have nothing that we can teach this thing. I mean, this thing can't learn Blast Burn. Hello? Look at this thing lying to us. It can't learn Blast Burn. I know it can't learn Blast Burn. Those are just blatant lies. I know it can't learn Blast Burn. But let's do a calc on Mega Kangaskhan just so we can see what kind of damage it does on standard offensive. On standard offensive, look, it's an OHKO. But look at this. This thing is an OHKO too. Like, this thing is gonna die after solar power. Well, actually, no, it's not. That is some sick stuff. You guys see the power of Overheat. You can nuke literally like anything, but Fake Out plus Sucker Punch is a problem. And if it's Adamant, well, it's gonna KO you. So that's a problem. But as you guys can see, the power is extremely like serious stuff right here. Like, wow, like wow. That's crazy. You nuke this thing. You nuke this. You know what? I might just run Flamethrower. There's no reason. There's no reason to run Fire Blast, because you're going to KO this thing anyway, and you're going to, you know, use Overheat on this. These two, you can't touch them, so let's not even bother. Charizard, let's look at what you can do to Charizard Y, because Charizard Y is going to be like the main Pokemon you're going to want to attack. Where is Charizard? Okay, Charizard Y. All right. Double Sun Attacker. It's the same spread that they have in singles. No, but then, oh no, I have Ancient Power. Never mind. I can learn Ancient Power. Right now, I don't need Dragon Pulse for anything. It doesn't OHKO. But with some prior damage, I can actually OHKO this thing. So it's still worth considering. It's still worth considering, guys. It's still worth considering, especially if you get that buff. Plus, this thing actually after solar power recoil, Focus Blast is an OHKO, so that's not a fun time. That's not a fun time. But you know what? It's alright. It's alright. At least we see that Ancient Power can potentially OHKO, right? So it's nice to have the chance to OHKO, is what I'm trying to say here. So we want to have Ancient Power. At least we have a chance to do something, right? When you give yourself an opportunity, that's what you want to do. You always want to have a chance. So Ancient Power, Flamethrower, Hidden Power, Ice, Overheat. So far, the moveset looks okay. You know, it doesn't look the best, but it's alright. you can hit this thing after Stealth Rock damage, or even potentially OHKO it if you get lucky. 18.8% chance. If you're using Charmeleon, you most likely need luck anyway to win, so it's not really much of an issue. Aegis Slash, we have Flamethrower, right? Yeah, I know for a fact, and right now I'm just going to change. Actually, you know what? You shouldn't give this guy 4 defense. Give him 4 special defense, because, you know, if you give him 4 defense, look, it's not going to do anything to the stat. So give him 4 here, because we're running even defense and attack stat, and it's going to make it 0 so we don't get hit by, you know, confusion super hard or whatever. You guys saw the damage a Flamethrower does to a Gengar. So to a super effect, to an Aegis Slash, get out of here. There's no need to even do a calc for that. So I'm not going to. We're not going to waste time on that. But anyway, I think I need to start looking for a teammate. So let's look at the Pokemon here that give this thing. Well, first I need a Pokemon that can set up Sun. And how are we looking for in terms of time? Are we looking good? We're at a 16:24. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to just, this is longer than I wanted to make it, but you know what? We're talking about a Charmeleon here, so I might as well just wrap it up right here. I'm going to wrap it up right here, guys. I'll basically make this a part 1 to building a Charmeleon team, solar power Charmeleon team. I'll see what I'm going to do, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to click that like button, as it really helps the channel, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you want to see an actual team building guide and not just me doing live team building, then check out the link to the description to the team building guide that I have on my channel. Alright, so I hope you guys check that out and really help yourselves. And yeah, with all that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. This is Groudon Empire. Peace out.